Have you ever started doing something and you just felt like no matter how hard you worked, you just couldn't get it done? Everyone tells you that hard work matters and putting it in changes everything. And they're not completely wrong, but they're missing a very important aspect. And it's probably something that you weren't thinking of. It's working smarter is usually better than working harder. If you put the two together, you have a master solution to any problem, but let's just act like we're picking one or the other. So let's talk about it. So let me let you on in a little backstory. So basically, when I was much younger, I definitely struggled with this problem of working really, really hard and seeing no results no matter how hard I tried. And here's a very specific story that has to do with that. So when I was really young, I was living with my parents, obviously, and I wanted to make a little extra money, and I couldn't really figure out how until I finally had the idea. Well, why don't I offer to clean my parents' car and see what that will turn into? Maybe I can make a little money extra and buy some Pokemon cards or whatever I cared about at the time. And my dad agreed and he let me clean his car, and he was like, but I really need my brake dust cleared out from beneath my wheels. And basically, for those of you who haven't seen it, if you see a car drive by and it looks like their rims are just black, that's brake dust. Really difficult to get off. I didn't know it at the time, so I went out there with my little sponge, my little hose, and a bucket, and I went outside and started trying to clean my dad's car. I got everything cleaned real nice, and then I got to the brakes after I had washed the outside of the car. And I took my sponge and I scrubbed as hard as I could for just about an hour. I took on one singular wheel. I was getting paid $20 for this at the time, and I spent 1 hour trying to clean a singular wheel before I even got the rest of the car done. And I scrubbed and I scrubbed and I scrubbed, and then I went inside with tears rolling down my face to my dad, and I was basically like, Dad, I tried as hard as I could to clean the car. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I just kept scrubbing and scrubbing, and it just wouldn't come off. And well, long story short, the rims didn't get cleaned that day. But a little while later, I had a couple thoughts, and I actually started looking up online, different ways to get brake dust off, and there was good solutions and bad solutions. I tried one, it didn't work, and then that time I probably spent about 20 minutes. And then in the future, about, I don't know, I want to say like a month or two later, I was thinking and I was like, wait, somewhere it said brake dust comes off pretty easily if you use different solutions. Maybe I could try something like some sort of acid or something. And I was in chemistry at the time in school, in high school, or maybe I wasn't even in high school. I was probably in middle school talking about basic chemistry. And I ended up finding this solution at Walmart that had a little bit of acid in it. And I used it on the wheels and it helped a little bit. And I found a different one that was much stronger and it helped a lot. And boom, the brake dust was off the wheels. They were perfect and shiny, just like the first day that they ever came out. And I was like, wow, I figured something out myself. This way took 5 minutes instead of 30 or an hour or 5 hours. And I ended up taking that idea and I created a business that I had cars. I called it, it was a detailing business down in Florida that I ended up giving to someone else for an exchange of money and giving my clients over and everything. And it was such a great learning experience for me that I wanted to make a video now about working smarter and not harder. So if there's ever something that's going on in your life that it just feels like there's nothing you can do except just struggle through it, there's probably an easier way. And as far as I know, I don't know much about your life because I'm obviously not there with you, living it with you. But when I was young, when I was 13 or whenever this happened, in my brain, there was no way out except to scrub the wheel as hard as I can. Sometimes when you're in the middle of the problem, the only way out is to keep scrubbing. Now, that doesn't work, but it looks like it's the only solution. The quicker I can scrub this, quicker I can get done, the quicker I'm out of this mess and I can move on to something else. Next time you find yourself in a tough situation, and you might find yourself in one right now, and that's why you clicked on this video, try to take a second and think, how can I do this easier? Because I guarantee you, the more problems you figure out how to do easier instead of how to brute force your way through it, the easier your life will be, and it will change your life. For those of you that are watching this video, I really appreciate you. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Otherwise, as always, I'm going to keep being me, and you keep being you because you're the best at it. I'll see you tomorrow.